Yo, what's up, my gooners? We're back at it again with some more, Ace Attorney. Alright, we're good. Ace Attorney! Last time we found out our boy Cosmo was not, well, I mean, he wasn't murdered. He was killed, but not on purpose. It was funny. Anyways, so our boy died, and now we take his place as gamer lawyer, and so now we're replacing him as the lawyer student. Isn't that exciting? So exciting.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
I think I look like Abraham Lincoln without the beard.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. Wow. This country is incredible.
Mid.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of British accents, aren't I? Bird, 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 bird. Damn. What the fuck is this room? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office? It's in a fucking clock? Is this supposed to be inside Big Ben or some shit? What the fuck? What an incredible place! It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. Looks like a fortress. Looks like a fortnight. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. I think there's more to the difference than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief's Justice Office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let Lord Chief Justice know we had arrived from Japan. Cosma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity, as envoys to report to the news of Cosmo-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If you want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Cosmo's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh, damn. He's huge. He's got the fucking... He's got the Edgeworth drip. Oh. Oh. I trust you aren't too excited after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Merrill Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. I feel like I'm a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here. I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of the London streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. Honestly, I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving there, Susato-san. Everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes. And there's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London. Great exhibition? What the fuck? Is that just a cane? Where'd you get that from? Also, why do you need it? You're not that old, I think. Are you old? He's 52. That's not that old. Middle-aged. Oh, I have an armband. Instead of the little badge, I have an armband now. Wow. This is band, of course. Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. You say so, even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand that the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we could even arrive. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you ordered this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that is true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madame? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then. A moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that's what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is... Oh, wow. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo! I could ruin this thing if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? It's... It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer. I have been acting as a lawyer in court. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me. And I was accused, by glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya. A voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need to have a university degree in law, you must also complete several years in training. I realize it's too far short of a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey has only just begun. Coming here to the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A briefly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to pull those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first. Sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that is my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish, I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified... Yeah, no, I said that right. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo. What do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There is an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as of yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you will have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. Wow, just straight into it, huh? A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. It's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short, sea-based introduction to British law. You can't possibly agree to such a test. You would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What is it to be? What do I say? Do I agree? You might as well. Fuck it. Do it! Alright. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... No, I can't do it. I can't get the lap. 15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That's too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go ahead and acquire your ticket back to East tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo? I'm sorry, Mrs. Sato. What could I do? It's alright, I understand. You do? It's not neat as a decision to choose whether to defend a man's life, defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madame? I think what Mrs. Sato means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable. And I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day that they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. God, I can't fucking read. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo! Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. You will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. That's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there's only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madame? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into the great city and enjoy yourselves. Bitch. He's gone. The Old Bailey. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Damn. 16th February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Oh, thank goodness, we're here in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to a destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from Sherlock Sholmes stories. It worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die. And we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So, this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me a sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air. Almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Top to the morning to you, madam, sir. Oh. What are yous doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, aren't they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all the while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say none now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Mrs. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. That much? Would that even much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! You hit me in the eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving to you and no strings attached. I'm wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, it is a little embarrassing. The trials that's about to begin, you see, is for my good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all. Well, it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does this mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names? No, sorry. We only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park? What? It is called McGilded Park. Full of blossoming flowers and the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? The city of smiles. That's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. Queer? That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they got the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me! Magnus McGilded. Not McGinnis. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Alright, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves, while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'd be best. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why in the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of London? England. Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, it is curious how he doesn't have. Yes, exactly. What now? Well, like you said, if you have all the money but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than that you're guilty of the charge. Okay. Okay, not doing that. Not at all. Although, it is a little strange to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Beric von Zykes. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zykes stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. What the fuck kind of edgelord am I gonna be going against? And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Beric von Zykes. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madame. It's cursed. Cursed? On Earth? The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face. Wait, what did he say? Until you showed your face here, I'd made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident. I can assure of that. I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. It's happening then. My first trial in the British court. I hope you're watching over me, Cosmo, because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. I don't know either, but you know what? It'll be funny. Comedy. Hey, Lamau. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know. But I just can't help it. Oh my gosh, he looks like a fucking vampire. Damn. Judge looks... In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. I want to give him a Russian accent because he looks like a vampire. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. He kind of looks like Dio. Dio Brando. Muda! Counseled for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from the ready if I tried. Those eyes please me, Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Do I get to look at the, nope, I sure don't. Alright. Yes, my lord? You stand accused of murder. A capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off the Far East. It is not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance. I like to think that acts of chivalry do a great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman. you hear that he donated 5,000 pounds to the government the other day?
Mother, may we go play in McGilda's park?
It seems though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilden. That's definitely welcome news. He certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilden, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you. What the fuck are these guys? That the 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Impartial. I don't know how to. I don't know how to say that word. Are you ready to proceed? Oh, good lord! I have to give every single voice. Yes, my lord. If the dares to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
A criminal here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me.
Why does he have a dagger? Put that away. Put that fucking switchblade away. We have an alcoholic based. I feel it, chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dear. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson.
Why are you knitting in a... What the fuck? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, those peoples are... The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan. Yet. That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor Von Zykes. My lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you in this courtroom. I thought you'd renounce your fame. I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years ago have passed since I spread my wings in this capacity. So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I leave that to your imagination, my lord. But the Reaper's been out of action for 5 years. Why do you have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. Must be the only ones here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening. 3 days passed. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known as in the community as thrice-fired mason. Sorry? Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be the most indestructible. How? Oh, okay. The victim's corpse was discovered in the omnibus in service. on the streets of London at the time. A dagger had been thrust into the victim's abdomen. It is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here in the autopsy report from the investigation medical officer at Scotland. Here is the autopsy report from the investigation medical officer of Scotland Yard. Fuck! Fuck! Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good lord! Is that a blood, counsel? Oh, yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-sucked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these into evidence as well. Get into this. I don't know, man. Let's go ahead and look over the evidence real quick. Let's see. Victim, thrice-fired Mason. Age 54, occupation brickmaker, time and cause of death. 15th February, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife while journeying in an omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Oh. Okay, let's see. What is that? It looks like one of his buttons was ripped off. Why are your buttons broke? Okay, here's the gloves. Them clip clappers. This is definitely blood. Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. Gilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Huh, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. I guess so. How do I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there was only 2 passengers inside. Traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker Mr. Mason. And let me guess, the other one was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. Well, whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilting, so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I've never laid eyes on before in life. Oh, I asked yous if a good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach. I wouldn't I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. Ah, so that explains the blood on the glove. So the blood got on the glove then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. We'll bring him out. Order, order, order! When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear the testimony of these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses at once. Damn. A whole ass 3 gentlemen. Witnesses, your name and occupations.
My name, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive the omnibus in the East End.
I don't know why I'm making him sound like Bill Cosby, but whatever. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name is First. Lady First. I, make hats for gents. Let's begin by conforming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witnessed the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right. Yes, sir, that's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
Testimony.
It was the last bus of the evening. I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed I did, I couldn't help it.
As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped the bus. And then I saw it too.
Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, did it not? As has been clearly stated from outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two possibly witness what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of a moving carriage. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled on an omnibus? Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged us to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? The carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Oh. So this is an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses, and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside in the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of the omnibus. As I should point out to our foreign guests, there is a skylight on the roof allowing the view of the interior from the seats above. Ah, the skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime and scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. And that is the prosecution's witness. Or wish. Fuck. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. I can't believe it. The entire crime entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. Okay, you need to stop gooning for the British. Damn. I was just pointing out those fucking ass marks, bro. Like, can I open your? Well, let's open the door and go in, shall we? Ugh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Look, it's London. What does that say? Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition due to its start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Inspiration, Schneerson. Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. That's the blood. That's the blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously. Yes. And that scene would clearly be visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab someone in full view of other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it is after dark. And there's a lamp in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside the skylight. Whichever you may look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. See, it has a handle, it seems. Oh! Looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to help keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubes, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Wait, what does that say? Phoenix Wright Omnibus? What the fuck? Phoenix Wright, huh? How interesting. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Damn it. Alright. We looked at the carriage and it was definitely a carriage. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Yeah, you already did. That was literally the first thing I did. Wow. Let us continue with the proceedings, then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Brave. Don't expect this Nipponese straight to understand the intricacies of the British court's cross-examination rights. All right. My first cross-examination in the British court. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. And you saw them through the skylight and the roof of the carriage. That's right. When you sit up top of the deck, the window's right there at your feet. And there was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. The two of them are wearing hats, and I couldn't greatly make out their faces. Well, that sure as hell doesn't look like our man. Though there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. Sure as hell doesn't look like it. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? McGilded is a gentleman of rather small nature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. There is no room for doubt here. I really wish there was.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or a fair what the fuck? Dead fair dinkum hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. Really got him off his back. Perhaps you could just tell.
My lord.
Juror number 3, what is the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up.
Made up about what?
I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other than they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me.
Okay.
There's no point in wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway.
That is precisely what I was about to say. As for the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. Good lord, you're not even giving the man a chance. What is happening here? Let's see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocence and black for guilty. And the 6 members of the jury make up their mind about the case. One by one, they cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our best to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. The court acknowledges the changes of the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. What a nightmare.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up above the roof deck, weren't you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gents sitting next to the fellow who was stabbed. I've been thinking about the new hat design, you see, so I was gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out of his belly. That huge, great knife. A grim sight indeed. Ah, that didn't help me at all. The jury looks more convinced my client did it than they were before. That appears to have made a mind. If only we had some evidence that could counter their suspicions. Mr. First. Oh, yes, sir. Is this the knife you saw? Oh, Oh, good grief. Yes, it is. The very one, sir. Is that? Yes, Counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stick to the heart. You would know about that, wouldn't you? Fucking vampire. This is a blade of considerable size, Counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial, the letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please no. M for Magnus, perhaps, or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there's M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, Counsel. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Juror number 2, go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and the gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service, we know we must accept hard truths. Wait, are you about to dispose the rubbish? Oh, good. No. I don't wish to call offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today as cross-reference. As such, I am now in position to draw my own logical conclusion. Wow. Not again. That's 4 out of the 6 juries who've proposed a guilty verdict. There's only 2 left. Good lord, I can't even fucking cross-examine without losing. Why? Is that an M or a W? I only have the letter M. It's beautifully gilded too. Ah, what is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. A W? Yes, this is one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know it all, but what I am sure is that this is an M. Oh. Well, the idea was quickly squashed. Fuck. That's part of its sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry, yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh. Those don't seem to be those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade. That's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Oh, damn. That looks a lot like blood. It surely is blood, the victim's. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just, we've only just arrived in here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. The fuck? we've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, it just makes the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at this moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something. That will give us a way to fight back. But all right, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. Yeah, Cat should be out with you. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. I'm calling your fucking mother! Oh. Oh, shit.
Hold it!
What exactly did you see?
Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was.
And by passenger, you obviously are referring to the victim, Mr. Mason the Brickmaker.
Ah, the other passenger that had the knife, like this.
By other passenger, you obviously are referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilton.
He plunged like this.
And stabbed the other passenger in the belly. What?
Order! Order! It is hard to believe one of London's greatest philanthropists. London's greatest philanthropists, but this is damning indeed.
This law knows no philanthropist, my lord. Only innocent and the guilty. Good deeds mean nothing when overshadowed by evil. The truth is everything.
Hold it!
Yes, I think that was something after 10, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, quite right, sir. Ever so cold it was. Freezing, in fact.
And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, but not all driving in the part of the bus. The same part of the bus. Of course, though.
And there were no other passengers when the incident took place? No one related, for example?
No, you're quite right about this, sir. Not a single fucking tippy-doo-doo.
So nobody fled the scene of a crime, then?
I have to say, the boss insisted on The boss insists on it running, it does. Every evening, the last buzz of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on a run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again.
Poor guy.
I just can't believe it, sir. Can't believe it. Murder on my own bus. It's too awful to think about it. I haven't been able to shake this cold ever since it happened.
My lord, I wish to speak.
Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you... As master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of murder being committed in one of the city carriages is absolutely, utterly abhorrent for me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But fuck it, I'ma do it anyways. No, please, just keep an open mind a little long. Gee up now, Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
This is too unkind, sir.
Which now means 5 jurors agreed to condemn this man. Grandma. Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, though.
Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your lien?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench to get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. The Gilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on the Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
So he's doing wonderful things in the city. For the city.
That's right, a man like him wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Mother, let me go to this public library later and borrow more books.
How many Londoners live in their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? What kind of a man he is? The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a shy schlock, sir. And one with very darkest of souls.
What?
Down the crows!
McGilded lends money to extortionate rates of interest so his victims have no hope of repaying it. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that plays on the weak.
I've never heard of any mention of that before.
Your facilities haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that. The victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come to no surprise that his creditor was the accused Magnus McGilded. But let it be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debt.
Good gracious!
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, his pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it. If I may add something briefly, Miss Usato, you claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where's the evidence to support your claim?
Where did you get that from?
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in the court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Zyke's hallowed chalice!
How can this be considered acceptable? Bro, wait like 500 years in the future, dude. There's gonna be a bitch with a full-on fucking whip.
But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh.
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray, forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast of the enigmat East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum.
This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we should look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from the great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you that we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen. They're not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Ah, goodness! What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying in this very moment. Oh, yes, of course, the banker! Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment day is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. Ah! Ah! Fuck! He's biased! Stupid bitch!
And the accused made quite certain he had ample repercompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it is such a pretty little mark, too. What a scoundrel. Still, it's all for the best.
Wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more before.
I don't stand for nonsense.
Damn. That was it. The last juror's decision. According to the Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the proceeding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial. By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections.
Mr. Sato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. A footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law? However, the defense. What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, the court proceedings are suspended and blah blah blah. We already did this. Footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. Summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination. From which century has that tome of you have been there? You have there been resurrected?
Ah,
Judging from the bindings, I will say the book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
oh. What even is it, Mr. Sato? The so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you would even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decision. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions.
Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that, although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't extinct yet. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? A summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? The defense wishes to assert its right to the summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, then it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial.
The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
This is madness.
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Oh? Well, I guess not. There was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so...
I used the same voice. My bad.
All members of all members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds? I have to change his voice every 2 seconds. It's pretty funny.
You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty.
Oh, well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with this justifying lark.
That seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
All right, then. The summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around.
So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds of which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this serious crime.
The jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it had to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him like this. Brazen, I say, absolutely brazen.
I have simply typed and collated that all statements made thus far are drawn to the logical conclusion.
You can trust the guild. Fair is our motto. We haven't raised the prices above 4 pence for years.
I've gone through stabbing the poor man on the floor. It beggars belief.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, do they? Well, let's see what we can do to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant's guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about the British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. You must listen carefully to what each member of the jury says. And if we can identify any contradictory statements, if we can then contrast the statements to pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off!
Can we start the proceedings, Council? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
Yes, my lord.
Hold it!
Careful, you can hurt someone with that.
You're a fine one to talk. With that sword hanging from your waist, too.
No, that's just my battered soul.
Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. We're all the same. All stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You'll mark my words.
That seems very unlikely, doesn't it?
Are you mad, man? We know that the shorty is a rotten Sherlock.
Well, yes, it does seem to be the case, but... Mr. Naruhodo, please, be careful what you say.
He's been trying to squeeze some money out of us less fortunate, and as far as I'm concerned, he's guilty of sin. The man can hang!
Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors say something to test your theory? Pit the two jurors' statements that seem contradictory to each other? No time to try.
Hold it!
What have you been doing this time?
What I had been doing this time? There. I should have thought it was obvious. I'm recording everything that takes place as part of the proceedings.
And what have you learned from that?
For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used his gavel 11 times in total. The prosecutor has snorted derisively at your remarks 7 times in total. And, I might add, each time you've gulped like a simpleton.
Thank you. What was the point of that exactly? So anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty?
That is a conclusion I've drawn as a result of the copious notes I've kept.
Clearly, but I'm asking to explain why you've drawn that conclusion.
Please don't distract me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note keeping.
This is going nowhere. That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. As the guildmaster, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. One fare no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder is on one of the buses, extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a decline in passengers. You mark my words, and it's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay. Is it a crime or his buses that he's more worried about? Is it the crime? Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, then the fellow in the dock is as guilty as sin.
Objection!
Those two statements are completely contradictory!
What? Explain, counsel, post haste!
Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
We've heard from more than one witness that they all allegedly saw the actual movement of the defendant when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Could you say I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Huh, you want to test me, do you? It was like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up! Just like the prim baker said!
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madame?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What?
Bless my stitches, what a muddle!
What this tells us is there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh! But why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends up at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Why, you say? Oh, dearie me.
I can't abide people telling lies. Ha! You cop! The scales. I don't believe it.
Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warned you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
Oh, I could use magic. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me this, Doc Jinx.
Huh? Me?
What exactly is the problem?
What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of the events? What of it? Let's say if this Shylock did stab the victim when he was sat next to him in the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again! And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say that it didn't happen like that?
Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you.
Are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
Good lord, they're threatening each other. Fuck! Now they're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the crime? Let me read the court documents, let me look at it, it was... Stabbed once in the abdomen. Nope, 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 nope. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman.
What is it, you dark jinx? Come out and say it!
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question.
What are you talking about, young man? How could you...
He said man. He just said man. Fuck.
How could you possibly say that?
You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction.
So where's your evidence, man? That's what I want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the crime. You say it's out of the question and show me proof.
It looks like this is the only way I'm going to convince him. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish.
What?
I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, and it's proven by...
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once.
Only once?
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times!
Alright, I concede defeat.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did! If we can manage to change two more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Two more. Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit two more jurors against each other and show their contradictions in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
Yay! Okay, we're gonna swap to 3. We're swapping back to 3, and then we're gonna get rid of 4. Okay, let's go ahead and press her. But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is? I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts. I see. A single penny could mean the difference between life and death after all, can it? That's a saying in your country? My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir. Does that bench really need more polishing? So, if the good driver says he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt him. The task left to do is dispose of the rubbish. Now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think. Yes! I fucking know it! Let's do it!
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
They do? Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
You're quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly there in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are quite different. By 4 pence, in fact, or precisely 1 person's fare.
1 person's fare?
Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious! Holy fuck!
This can't be right. The coachman of the guild are good and honest men, once and all. Trustworthiness is on our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon. Mr. Sorry, I just remember, it's just, whatever. I just remember, like, seeing, like, his weird, like, confused face, like, staring at the screen. It just makes me laugh every time I see it. Mr. Guildbastard, I think you ought to reconsider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets a nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Alright then, how do I make this miserable trial doesn't end, Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire to the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement.
Why did you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo! I'll fucking kill you!
This is all very irritating.
Damn. This guy seems to be very, very, very adamant in getting this guilty verdict. Something tells me this man is sus fuck. Also, I get the feeling that he's short. Begging your pardon, sir, I'm going to do the same.
For the love of Mike, not you too as well!
A penny can be the difference between a smile and the tears, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading on not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won! I'm gonna dictate juror number 1.
What are you playing at, you dandy fool?
Shut your trap, soy. Oh, sorry.
No one deceives me.
We had consensus.
I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one, and if the trap even dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head.
Stop licking your... Ugh. Please tell me he's a barber.
Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand for 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate. The trial must continue.
Hey, Vampy, on my dick taste, bitch. Suck my fucking ball. Alright.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Zykes, continue the substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
That's why! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollow chalice, it may seem crash to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zykes?
Is it cold in here or is it just me? As you antiquated Tom no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during the summation examination. So I honor the deathly silence and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Damn. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh, I dispose of my cape. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Yes, sir. I did, sir. Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it.
You, sir, on the end. The coachman. I believe it's Beppo?
Yes, sir. My lord, sir.
If it transpires that your previous statement that you were attempting to veil the presence of a 5th passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio Dio.
Mio Dio.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. Sucking my nuts. But no butts, no nuts, no coconuts. Sorry. All right, I was looking at something. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it, but
Well, I, for one, was told I had to pay 5 pences for the bus.
he fiddled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It was all too much.
I tell you, I saw McGilded stab the man. Everything I said before stands.
Yeah, he stabbed him, yes he did. I think so, yes.
You think so, yes? Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cousinish. Beppo, explain yourself!
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare?
It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty.
You have been dishonest, coachman.
Sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo, a disgrace. Your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild.
If I may, sir, I had to pay the tenpence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yeah, it's 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times over already, but I can't make sense of the result come out differently.
No, that figures.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel, for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of the protracting summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
Absolutely.
So, there was only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them for the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I was so cold that it was all I could do to stop myself from passing out.
I'm getting chilblains just listening to you.
It was terrible. I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Doesn't that dedicate coachman to deserve an extra penny per passenger?
Good lord, man, your stuttering is cringe. You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. Only if there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night. Then we could have had another suspect. told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Hold it!
This blood-curdling sight. In the murder, I presume. Yes, sir. A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness such the horrors in the eyes of a man the moment they've life taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gen was stabbed.
Good gracious, really?
We have another witness who did, however. The banker had already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. It may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker jet next to me take a sharp intake of breath. See, that's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw the terrible blade poking from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. Poor guy. Interesting. So it was fair play. If it wasn't for fair play, he wouldn't have noticed the stabbing at all. How interesting. And this motherfucker owes money to the guy in question. I smell poppycock.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him.
That's what I said, isn't it?
It was bothering me before, this was. But just for a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question.
Anyway, there was only two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there?
There has been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence.
Then what are we wasting all the time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty.
Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Is there evidence to contradict it?
Objection!
That ain't it. It's not him.
Objection!
Nah. Let me think.
Hold it!
Earlier you testified that you saw the victim when he saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, that's right.
You said the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose. I might have, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats of the roof deck.
Oh, I expected that was me, sir.
then I was turned around, yes. Yes, when I saw it through the skylight, the gentleman on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes.
So, in short, you didn't see the moment the victim was actually stabbed at all.
I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the truth.
Oh! Oh, I'm sorry! What are you fucking around?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir! Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay fuckface?
Now you listen here to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moments the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh?
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Add clever points to my wiener. Could he have just happened to see the exact moments? The exact moment the crime was committed? No chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through the skylight on the top of on the bus, that is.
Peeping? I am a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as Ballarat Day. It was a grim scene. I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me. I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about exactly what you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Show me your balls. Don't you think I'd forget the sight of the blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man? What? Are you talking about the gloves, or are you talking about his his actual fucking hand, his little fingers, his little fleshy fucking meat handles?
Hold it!
Blood-soaked hands? Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying on it a bit thick, but... Anyway, it was definitely blood all over them, and they were covered in it. And you saw it from the roof. From the skylight? Well, the skylight was reasonably large, so I had plenty of good view. And there was a lamp in the carriage as well. So I'm quite sure of what I saw. The banker's last statement. I feel like there's something not quite right about it. Good look through the court record. Save the game because I'm a bitch.
Objection!
Okay. Just testing the waters! I'm just testing the waters! Give me a fucking break! That's not what I thought at all. In fact, it's exactly not. I'm thinking it's either the dagger or the gloves. I'm gonna say the gloves.
Objection!
I knew it. I'm a genius. I was testing the other thing. Don't judge me. Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, it was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question.
Oh, yes, right.
And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark color stain there. But I'm sure you can clearly see it's only on the right-hand glove. Yeah, is he eating his cane? Why is he eating his cane? Good lord. You need to have like a better coping mechanism, dude. That shit's gonna break your teeth. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah! What? No, that can't be right.
Ah, you're the liar then, yeah. That's right. You were quite clear about it. You... It was both hands.
Stop eating your cane. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? Yeah, I...
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it was in both hands, it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused. Now, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Ah! Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not a gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. I don't speak British tongue. Oh, hi, Cloudy. Bitch. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be a liar, it could turn the tide of this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie is... My lord?
Yes, counsel?
The defense is ready to present evidence.
By Jove, are you sure?
Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had a reason to lie in his testimony.
Very well then. I hereby call the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrate a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
In this list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
No. Well, it's been barely worthy being called a debt. According to the ledger, you owe 20 guineas. That's not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. Would that become your... What would become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditors that offended here to be sentenced to capital punishment, all outstanding debts would be owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant?
Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
Yes, my lord.
Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim?
Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
All right. Now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth in a pinch.
Pinch.
But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilton's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And yet only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
So you keep saying?
I wonder if I may be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what?
The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think... Yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one.
What?
What?!
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Yarf. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at least. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here.
There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I can sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing transpire, if that matters.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them.
I didn't actually see anything myself, no. Not until I heard the scream. But the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we would have all been we would have all seen. Well, lo and behold, in truth and fact, one of you was witness to the crucial moment of the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, God, there was no one else inside that carriage. The man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is tantamount to saying what we saw right here.
It's really not what the testimony is about.
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible in the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts. In other words, there is no substantial nor insignificant change in the facts of the case. Very well. The cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record.
I am well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw, and I stand by it. The man had both of his hands, blood on both of his hands.
is defiant, even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might have been mistaken about what he saw, but why?
Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient points remained unchanged. Minutes after the guilt crime, the victim's blood dripped guiltily, what the fuck, from the accused fingers.
Hold it!
You definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands? Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilden's gloves had any signs of blood on it.
That's right.
And the thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilden sitting below the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing these gloves? That's correct, sir. I saw the blood on his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the bark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see.
I should point out that the police officers who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilden's gloved hands.
So there wasn't blood on his hands.
This is puzzling indeed.
This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it. So then, who the fuck killed him? I mean, it is weird. They are the only two in there.
Hold it!
And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight of the roof of the omnibus.
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not?
It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
It was locked?
That's right. And it's a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play.
Yes, I had the exact same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb on the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I assure you I wasn't just looking down, I was glaring, long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else in that cabin, I would have noticed.
Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? You can certainly see inside the sky, that's for sure. It's not good for us. Quite a large skylight, isn't it? It's quite large enough to afford a good view of the cabin from the roof deck. And it doesn't appear to be a handle or latch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from the inside of the cabin, at least. Huh. How can you see if the frost was tinted in that? Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding on this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck, is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, is there a portion of the cabin's interior that would have been out of sight from you? What? By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Enough hypothetical meandering, my nipple-knees friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime here is in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of this cross-sectional plan of omnibus. What exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting the extra passenger?
Right.
Take that!
Both rows of seats on the roof face the direction of the travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I have drawn here.
Oh!
That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite to the one which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from the view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You nipple knees have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat? What the fuck? How the hell am I supposed to know? Let's do it. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his limitations. But those, the hard lessons not yet learned.
That is not delay, counsel. The defense is still...
This could be it. This is the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat of the omnibus
Take that!
I did it. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the roof failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. Mr. McGilded? McGilded?
What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection!
Shit. If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollow chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zykes!
People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even the student of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact, and the very premise of which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection!
Yet, we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Objection!
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. If it was somebody sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify, and the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them!
Objection!
And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit.
Extraordinary! Order! 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 What exactly are you postulating?
Objection!
The defense postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Objection!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their faces were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
And what particular styles of hats do these two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
I'm afraid I don't remember. You call yourself a hatter?
This style of hat makes no difference. There was no passenger in that cabin.
How can you be sure?
Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilder, would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact. Unless, that is, you're proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he had traveled. He's right. But there's another person traveling in the enclosed cabin on the omnibus. It's inconceivable that Mr. McGilden would have been unaware of it. Order! There is clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGilden, to the stand. Well, what say you, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made the full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGilted is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out that the man has been withholding information, you can be sure that it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilder to testify or not? We kind of have to, don't we? We literally have no fucking choice. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilton to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes. I need quite a bit of little time to do this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilton had to say.
Get the man out of here, I say. Out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
Oh, get the man out here. Fuck. When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run at a guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say. Oh, yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury has been heard. Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once! Get his fat ass in here! Motherfucker. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Will finally become... Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilden, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? To be sure I have, my lord. There are two matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there is a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person is indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police? Begad, no. 'Tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matters is, I've been desperate about this all along. I tell yous all, or keep my mouth shut. Tell us what, Mr. McGill? The fine fella representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true. Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You... What?! No, Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry, so I am, Lord Van Zykes. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was in there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who is this young child you speak of? That I do not know. You don't know? Aye, well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court. Oh, by the court. I like slowly turned to his accent. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Ah! Smoke! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! It's no use. What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. Cover your face. Bailiff, do not let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. What is happening? We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos as people stumbled over one another in desperation to flee the chamber, we had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Dude, this is fun. This game is so weird. Okay, everybody. Let's take like a small break here, like a small recess, real quick. I'm gonna go take a shit real quick, so I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Whew. I feel a little better. My chest is fucking hurting like crazy, though. But we shall carry on. Carry on, my wayward son. What on earth just happened there?
Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened.
Mr. Sato, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smokes. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl around 15, I hear. A young girl. Then, could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There were so many things I needed to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here in the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Hmm? Oh, according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems that there were, in fact, 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. That is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed to the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. Well, we'll know soon enough, Mrs. Sato. Su. Yes. Yes! Is that her? There's a young girl next to Mr. McGilded. Mr. McGilded, look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zykes. Yes, my lord. I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled the proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now accompanies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilded? I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is this wee lass is in here for the first place and why she tried to bolt like that. 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case.
Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. On the night in question, I took the back seat of the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, brah! A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up in a fast start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out the scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct? 'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. His fucking face. He has the doofiest fucking face.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you said. And a scream? Aye, that's what I said. That's right. How can I explain it? 'Twas like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having been stabbed? Well, now you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. So you didn't see any, but at the same moment you did hear a scream. From the seats above you, on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I stood him up at the seat across from me. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? 'Tis common courtesy, so it is. I find it a little hard to believe. Ara, Lord Van Zykes, now why would that be? You wake up to find the man lying dead at your feet in the carriage, and a normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. A business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where is at all possible, to avoid getting myself entangled with trouble. Are you suggesting you were just gonna leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had a mind to find out the whys and whereofs first. The whys and wherefores? Whereofs? Wherefore art thou? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddle. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do this just the same? Yes. The scream, he says, he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself. Aye, that's right. 'Twas hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, me heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. Ugh, you're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her in the seat opposite of where I would have, so I could have a wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite? That's right, just next to the dead gentleman.
You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir.
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And whilst I was in the middle of talking to her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time. Presumably, that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting at the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witness did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGillicuddy. What they believed to be yourself and the victor was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl.
After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman above us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. I do wonder how you must be feeling, Mr. Naruhodo, being the defendant's lawyer and yet finding myself as stunned as everyone else in this testimony. Let's just say it's trying. We certainly had precious little time to talk to Mr. McGillicuddy. We mustn't be dispirited. Ugh.
Hold it!
When you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first passenger, as it were, I see.
Aye, and that's why I took the back seat as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. 'Tis how you described it earlier. I was talking about the seat opposite to the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed, was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable, where I feel at most at ease. And of course, I enjoy the gaze through the skylight from time to time as well.
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. The wee scream I heard was, as I woke up, it came from, if you excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
Good gracious!
Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there a wee cubbyhole for the storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. That would be a very good time to have a thorough look inside. I mean, I already know exactly what they're talking about. That was like the first thing I saw, and jeez, that's a lot of blood. I didn't even see that. That's blood, isn't it? It's just, well, the bloodstain is so obvious, it's all. And yet Van Sykes made no mention of it. I suppose it does seem like a strange thing. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing in here. It's totally empty. Something doesn't seem right here, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Wait. Why is it empty? Okay, hold on. I'm a little confused here. Okay, first of all, I do not recall seeing this blood stain on the floor, and second of all, I don't recall seeing this empty. This shit wasn't fucking empty the last time we checked. It had like horse shit and stuff. Like horseshoes, like wheel repair stuff, and all that stuff in there. But for some reason, it's empty now. Why? When did it become empty? What? What? And that's when I found her.
Thank you, I've heard enough. The events as explained clear my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is this girl?
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer. Earns her crust among large crowds, revealing people of their purses. What's commonly called pickpocketing. What?
This girl here, a petty thief? Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question! Ah! Ah! How dare you! What is the meaning of this? Oh, the girl! She's gone!
Open your eyes. I'm over here.
Good gracious, how...
What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught in a job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the jet. Go on, that's what in your head's, ain't it? Good lord, trying to do like a Boston accent is a pain in the ass. No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not again. Oh shit. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need is what got to do with your fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-leg four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink the best.
Don't wave that thing in my direction again.
So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question? It is alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just as the Irishman said. Oh, he's Irish.
The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
All right, if I have to. And guess what, losers? That's what we're gonna end on. You thought we were gonna continue, but in reality, we're gonna stop here because I can't fucking take this anymore. I'm sweating fucking bullets, dude. I'm hurting. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the night. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I appreciate it. Tomorrow is Star Wars Day, so we're gonna be playing some Star Wars games. Isn't that exciting? We'll play a bunch of old ones, oldie but goodies. That's the term. Oh, good lord, my chest. So yeah, we'll play a bunch of Star Wars games tomorrow, and then on Monday we'll play more Enderal. So, poggers. So anyways, thank you guys for coming by. I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow for some stirrers. Good night, everybody.